Hello, everybody. Let's talk home office today. Um, this may be a very short video because I'll try to extend it, but so it's worth everybody's while. But really, what's needed for a home office is very, very little. You don't even need a home office. You can operate from just a laptop at a coffee shop. So you do not anywhere there's internet access. All you need is a computer and internet access. So let's maybe break it down to between what it is you need and what it is you may want. So those are always two different things. But so what you need is, like I just said, you need internet access, an email account, so that you can communicate with your clients and get information from your clients, and a computer. Uh, and that computer can be, it doesn't have to be the top of the line, doesn't have to be brand new. It can be a desktop or a laptop. I've been doing this about 20 years, and I was looking through boxes in the garage the other day, and I found this relic that I thought I'd share with you guys. So this thing, which weighs about 1,000 pounds, I can't remember how old it is. It's old, um, but it was something. One of my first laptops that I used. I used it all the time. You can see this thing numbers coming off. These are worn down, but it has a 10 key on it. So I really don't know how old that thing is, but it's old. That's back when I used to go on site a lot to different locations, so I would have my laptop with me. And my point in this is always that whatever you have today that's working for you today is better than what I had back in the day, because computers weren't that good. So and then I think this one came after that one. It's another relic and weighs a ton, but it has 10 key on it. So um, but yeah, those kind of bring back memories. But it's a long, long time ago. Anyways, I don't really go on site anymore. I do have a nicer laptop now, but I don't go on site like I used to. But that's what I had to do in the beginning for a long, long time, and that may be what you need to do as well. But all I had was, at the time, QuickBooks Online wasn't really that big of a deal yet, and it was just QuickBooks Desktop. So I had QuickBooks Desktop on those laptops, and uh, would go on site, help people with their stuff, and I'd also use their computer that they had at their location. But that's all I had for a long time. I moved out in California from Illinois in 2004, and I can't remember if I had a desktop at the time or a laptop. And I'm not sure. Those are old, but I don't know if they're that old. But my point is that if I was able to do it way back then with the technology that was available back then, whatever you have, whatever you're watching me on right now, is most likely adequate, unless it's your phone. But you do need to be able to type, and a 10 key is really handy to be able to have that. So that's all you really need is a computer that works. Most people have that. Internet, most people have that. And then QuickBooks Online for accountants is free, so you don't have to pay for QuickBooks. Uh, Now, QuickBooks Desktop does cost money, and you don't need to start there. You don't even have to ever go there if you don't want to. You can only just have QuickBooks Online clients. But QuickBooks Online for accountants is free. I talk about that in my program. But hi, everybody. Good to see you. So that's all you need. Okay. Now you may want other things, like now I have two computers on my desk. I'm in a comfortable room, and there's my son's desk, who's 8, back there. I have a TV that I usually have going on, just to listen to something as I'm working. And I don't go on site like I used to. I don't go to people's locations like I used to. But that's something that's part of paying your dues. If you want to do, you don't have to do that, but you do learn a lot that way. Learn about a lot about yourself. You learn about other businesses that way. So I recommend that if you're game for that kind of thing. But so there's what you need, very little. Well, you already probably have it, and you may need to get QuickBooks Online for accountant. But there's other things that can make your life a little easier, like a bigger screen uh, than the than a laptop. The bigger the screen, the better on your eyes, obviously. I can kind of turn this around, like just show you real quick what I have. This is just a basic room. I have 2 computers going. Nothing fancy, but I have 2 computers because of taxes. I like to have taxes going on one screen. I did have 3 monitors, and I may again, just an additional monitor that hooked up. So I'd have tax on this computer, and then like PDFs and stuff that I was pulling information from to do those taxes on that computer. This computer right here is my email and the QuickBooks and all that stuff on this one. It allows me to multitask, and over time you get really, really efficient at things, and a lot of times you're actually waiting for your brain's moving faster than the software sometimes, so you can actually be doing more than one thing at once. But you don't need to get that fancy. You don't have to even have a desktop or a big monitor. You can just start with a simple laptop. Anything that works is sufficient. The only other thing that I would say that you don't need it in the beginning, but you should use it eventually, is Excel. You don't have to get crazy proficient with it and know all the bells and whistles of Excel, but it's extremely useful. Instead of the number machine, the 10 key that you type on the side that we all us old timers used to use. You can use Excel for that. Excel's a spreadsheet. You can just type numbers in it. You can easily add them. Unlike an adding machine, if you make a mistake on Excel, you can go, oh, there's where my mistake is, correct that one, and you don't have to re-add everything again. But you can also run what's called pivot tables. You could take people's information that they give you in various forms, throw it in Excel, total it, manipulate it, categorize it. It makes Excel is really powerful. So start to dabble in Excel as soon as possible, because it really helps. And also from QuickBooks, you can shoot reports out from QuickBooks out to Excel, and then you can make them prettier or add things to it, make notes to it. All that kind of stuff is helpful if you're sending the client information. I usually send the client reports in Excel. So I use Excel all the time, pretty much daily. I've already used it today. And so it's a valuable tool to use. So that's really all you need and should want to have a fully functioning home office. And again, it doesn't even have to be a home office. You could be doing all of this from a coffee shop or something like that. And one other thing is a printer. We're all pretty paperless these days, but I still do print stuff. A lot of times it's a lot easier to have something here right in front of me as I'm doing, or if I'm definitely for taxes and stuff like that, it's a lot easier in some cases to have something printed out that I can write notes on it and think about things and write down my notes to myself and stuff. So even my tax clients, I have a actual physical folder on each of them. I don't keep all their stuff in there like I used to, but I do have a filing cabinet and and a small physical folder on each client. So that's it. You don't need anything else. Like I said, you could do all of this from a coffee shop somewhere. You don't have to get fancy. You don't have to have a printer. It's handy because you do want to print stuff sometimes. I think I do anyways. But that's pretty much it. Let's chat now. If anybody has any questions, let me look at these. because mine has evolved and gotten fancier over time, but it doesn't have to be like that. So hello, hi guys. Are you working with Mac OS or Windows? Okay, so it's probably been about 7, 8 years ago. I switched over from Windows to, or Windows desktops to Macs. So I have two big Macs, and but I do run Windows on them. So there's a program called Parallels. I think it's just $100 program, and it allows your Mac to be partitioned where one part is Mac and one part is Windows. So I have, cause especially my tax software and QuickBooks desktop, I liked on Windows, and so I just kind of I grew up with Windows based, and a lot of your financial stuff is more Windows based than Mac. Anyways, I operate mainly on the Windows side. So it's it's an Apple Mac, but it runs a Parallels program that allows my system to fully function as if it's a Windows computer. It's really, really slick. So, and I can just switch back and forth just like that from Mac to PC. But mostly I just run Windows. So Rocketbook, I'll have to look up what that is. So Kevin, you're asking about what I put on Craigslist. I had to try. That's a different video. So actually, we did that one a couple days ago, like a week ago. So look on my channel, and you'll see where it talks about advertising. I talk about Craigslist on there. Okay, Kevin. Paul, you're asking about branding. Come up with a good name. That was the video before the advertising. So look on the channel, and you'll see the different videos. I'm doing these in sort of kind of an order. So branding was first, then advertising. So you guys are asking about videos I did a few days ago to a week or two ago. Yep. Yeah, if you don't know Parallels, it's really, really handy because you get the best of both worlds. You get an awesome Mac, but with Windows programs. Yeah, so whatever questions about having a big, large curved screen versus two monitors. Yeah, well, whatever works. These are high class problems when you're talking about multiple monitors and what's best. So it's when you get to that, it's just whatever is best, whatever you like best. So Naz, you're asking, when meeting new clients, is it usually through video chat, Skype, in person? Do you do it from where you are right now? A lot of people are doing that. Most of mine are just from phone calls. So I just talk to them on the phone. But that if they were to ask to virtually meet me, yeah, I would just do a Zoom or Skype, whatever they have. I'd probably ask what they have or been using, or even just FaceTime if they're using an iPhone. Just keep it simple. Don't try to get I've seen people try to get overcomplicated with that kind of stuff. It's like, oh, you got to have this and this, but just find out what it is that they use if they do video with anybody, and just do it that way. Just keep it real simple. Again, you don't want to ever put barriers up that can cause people to, not take the next step. So if they have to download something or install another thing on their computer, then it's probably not the right choice. If they're calling you on a phone, you can just say, "Do you want to do FaceTime?" Boom, done. Kevin asked, "What kind of service companies do you work with the most?" I wouldn't. I don't have like a clusters of a particular industry. I wouldn't say, but I have everything from doctors and lawyers to pool cleaner. So they're all over the place. But yeah, mostly service based. I like service based companies a lot, but I have a company that makes games, which is cool. So a lot of different industries and interesting things. So, okay, Rocketbook is an erasable, reusable notebook. Okay, cool. I will check it out. Do you think you'd be able to do everything in Chrome OS? I've gotten used to all you need is QuickBooks Online for accountants, which is free. So if it can pull that up, yes. Random question from Naz. Is most of my clients on cash basis or accrual? Cash. I have tax clients too, so it depends on what you're talking about. So I have, all different situations pretty much. Between the bookkeeping I do and the taxes I do, I've seen a lot of different things. So yeah, Kevin. So yeah, those are excellent industries excellent clients to have because they're smaller. The self-employed businesses, which I predict will be on the rise because of everything that's happened. We're all stuck in our homes for a month or whatever it will be, and you have a lot of creative people that don't like to just sit around. So you can only watch so many movies and whatnot before you start to get restless and say, you know what, I can do this, I can do that. You're going to see a lot of new self-employed people popping up. Because we're forced to change, and that's good for bookkeeping business owners to find new business, because there's going to be all these new businesses popping up, people working on these hobbies, turning hobbies into a bit something that they can sell, and they're going to need bookkeeping. So I think those are perfect clients because they're small. You can get a lot of them, and then if you lose one, you don't feel it financially. So I like the idea of having a lot of small clients. Couple big ones are nice too, but you don't want to have just like two big ones, because if you were to lose one, you'll really feel it financially. So I like the small ones. They're easy. You can. A real small company you can do in 20 minutes a month if you're just doing that level 1 bookkeeping, where you're taking the information from their banks and credit cards, putting it into QuickBooks and reconciling. If that's what you're doing, you can do that for small business really quickly. And if you're flat rating your prices, you can make a good amount of money in that 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You'll get efficient over time to where you can do a lot in you can do 3 times what you can do when you're first starting out. Which, if you're flat rating, that means you can make a big chunk of change per hour. So Ryan's asking, how do I receive and send documents to and from clients? Most clients just email me their stuff. Some of them password protected, most don't. And I do use Dropbox. a lot. But there's a lot of options out there. People send me stuff in the like Google's Google Drive and all that other stuff. But a really good, Dropbox works really well. Most people have heard of it, and it's easy. You can just create a folder and invite them to it real quickly and easily. So if I'm on the phone with a new client, they need to send me stuff. I say you can email it to me, or I can send you a Dropbox invite. You drop everything in there, and when you're done, when you think you have everything in there, just let me know, and then I'll go in and take a look. That makes it real easy. But there's other options, and some people prefer other things. Dom is asking, do you do any transactions for your clients like payroll, etc., or just the books? I don't do payroll. I dabbled in it many years ago and realized that it's not something for me. A lot can go wrong with payroll, and then trying to fix it, you're dealing with a government agency, but so things can be slow and very tedious, and you don't want to be messing up. I'm just speaking for myself. I don't want to be messing with people's money, people's payroll. And the amount of time that it would take for me to do it or somebody else to do it, there's companies out there like Gusto or Gusto.com, Gusto.com. I don't make any money from them. I should, because I send everybody to them. But they charge, I think it's $45 for one person on payroll per month. It's just a flat rate per month. So it's hard to compete with that. If you're trying to run a payroll company, you got to try to compete with that. And it's so easy. So I don't teach their own, but payroll seems to me like you're taking on a lot of responsibility. And how can you compete with, what a company, one of these online companies that makes it real easy for the client to do their payroll? How are you going to compete with that? Yeah, there's a lot more liability. You don't want things to go wrong with people's paychecks, and if you miss deadlines and payments and stuff like that. But anyways, all of that stuff's really automated nowadays and inexpensive for the client. Yeah, there's super secure platforms out there, as they say. Yeah, my philosophy's always been just kind of, if the client's going to email me something, I'm not going to complain about, you need to be sending this in a super secure thing. And I know a lot of CPA firms that use these complicated uploading thing, but the question, it's all going through the internet. So, how safe is one thing over another? You have breaches all the time in major corporations. So, so Kevin, you're currently organizing your business through your personal checking account, but only enter the expenses that are related to my bookkeeping business. Do I need a business account right away, or if this looks like something that's going to work for you, you can create a bank account online from your desk, from sitting at your desks nowadays. You don't have to, if you already have an account with them. If it's one of the major banks, you can just create a bank account yourself from being logged into your other account. So check that out. I would separate them as soon as you can. Like to keep things clean. And practice what you preach. You can't be telling your clients not to commingle their money, and you do yourself. but it's not the end of the world. It all comes down to coding. Make sure you code everything right. By the way, if you guys like this, if you could like it and subscribe so you don't miss future ones. Like today's, I shot this out last minute, and I've been meaning to do this for a couple days, but Easter came along and all that other stuff. So, do you recommend calculating depreciation yourself, or do it annually with consultation with the client's account? I don't. I just take it from the tax returns. So if I'm doing the tax return, I don't do. There's no need typically to do monthly depreciation calculations. Just wait till the end of the year when the tax return is done, and take that number and enter that in. Whenever you get the tax return information, just make a December 31st entry. That's how I usually do it. But there are companies they're usually bigger companies and more serious about things, where they actually, if they want to see monthly depreciation entries. All right, what else for the home office? That's about it. Keep some candy nearby, some chocolate or something. You guys surviving your quarantine? You guys want to talk about that? What are you guys doing? Scanner. So that's a really good question, Ryan. What about scanner? Yeah, if yeah, I would just. That's what I have. Is I have the multifunctional printer. I can scan stuff on there too. Um, so that's the thing that you don't need, but you should maybe get eventually. You don't. But okay, so on your phone too, it depends on how many pages you have. But even with the phone apps, so I use a phone app for scanning things most of the time now, just because it's easier than. And it's with me wherever I am. So if I have even like 10 pages, I can just look on your in the app store for like Tiny Scanner, I think is the name of the one I use, but there's probably 100 of them. Where it'll scan it to PDF or different options, but and it'll also put them together. So like if you have 10 pages to scan, I just lay them on the floor and take a picture, flip the page, take a picture, flip the page, and it'll put them into one file. You can email it straight from there. Probably, I think you can just text it from there too. And so it's really, really handy. So you don't need to go buy one if you have I'm assuming you have a decent phone these days that would have it. Yeah. Hey, Donna. I think that's the name of the one I use, Tiny Scanner. But there are probably many out there to choose from. Yeah, quarantine's getting old. Although, working for yourself from home, that piece of it hasn't changed. I mean, it's just, can we go out? We can't go out to the restaurants and stuff like that. But the working from home, that hasn't changed. It's normal for me. Yeah, thanks for thanks for posting all these up. So if anybody's looking for these different scanner options, people are mentioning different ones. Cool. Do I recommend a conference option? I don't do much of that. I've used Zoom though, and it seems like Zoom is very popular. So I would probably start there if you're looking to pull a couple different people into a conversation. I would try Zoom. Cool. Yep. A lot of extra time now to get things done, right? Yeah, and I think we've made the turn. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. If anything, this situation's made a couple things really clear, and that is to be able to work from home uh, and really not be affected financially by. So people ask me all the time, am I being financially hurt by this? And so far, no. Now, will some of my clients' businesses go under? Maybe, but um, as so far, I haven't seen any change. I haven't heard of anything, and um, and I'm optimistic that I think this will only create more. Like I was saying earlier, this will create more businesses. Um, More small businesses, self-employed people starting their own business will come out of this. So I think long term, it's actually beneficial for a business like ours. Yeah, zoom. So Donna, if you're just trying to figure out where to begin and start up, some of the people here have taken my course, and um, so I have different programs to check out. Check out this link here. Programs. So my programs come with QuickBooks training if you need it. Come with logos and websites if you need those. Which I think if uh, you're just starting out, you don't have any of that, I recommend all of that. Yeah, Donna, if you don't have any money to start, you can, like I said, just in this video, is what this is all about. Is that if you're able to see me right now, you're probably on a computer, maybe on your phone, but you just need a computer and QuickBooks. QuickBooks Online for accountants is free, so you can literally get going without spending any money. It'll be harder to do without a logo and a website because if you don't have good branding, you can't do good advertising. And I always preach really good branding plus really good advertising equals clients. So, but that doesn't mean you can't knock on doors and that kind of thing. And if you don't have QuickBooks training, there are other options. My programs are just trying to give people the shortest path from nothing to having a business. So, but everything can be done other ways. Yep, I agree. I think it's going to be beneficial for this industry. Yes, Saria, if I'm saying that right, hopefully. Yeah, you can. So my programs come with or without those extras, and then if later on, if you want to get a logo and website, you can. Donna is asking if online version is as good as the desktop. It depends on who you ask. So I grew up, like I said, I've been messing with this stuff for 20 years. So desktop was the only way to go back in the day. So I come from the desktop background. I use both now. I still actually really like the desktop because it moves fast. Uh, Online version is browser based, so everything is a little slower. In some cases, a lot slower. I can do probably 3 times the amount of work on the desktop as I can in the same amount of time on the online version. So, but some people hate the desktop version, love the online version. So, I think if you started with the desktop, it seems to me that people that have started with the desktop version prefer it. Those that started with the online version prefer that, which is normal. But like I said, the desktop version, you can fly around the desktop version and get a lot done. Way more than on the online version. I get frustrated with the online version just because of the lag. But the online version has a lot of benefits, the obvious ones of being online. Thank you for saying that, Bookkeeping Journey. Stick around our Facebook group, and it's good to have you here anyways. Yep. Yeah, the desktop version is nice. Naz is asking, do you have experience, do I have experience acquiring clients on freelance gig platforms like Upwork? And I don't. My plate's been full for a long time, pretty much. So only new clients I get are through email and phone call. So yeah, but I've heard that people are getting clients that way. So you can definitely give them a try and see it. It's easy to see what other people are doing on those too, and you can tell who's doing well, because I think it lists how much they've made and all that, and the rating, reviews. Cool. So Donna, why do I also use the online version? Because I have clients that use it. So if I'm maintaining somebody's books, I usually use the desktop version. But I help a lot of people with their books who also use their books, and they use online versions. So they invite me to it, and I use it that way. Victor's asking if I have any experience incorporating Python into your work. I don't know what that is, so no. So Ryan, what do I think of Xero and Wave and etc.? I have always done as well as I care to do using QuickBooks. So I've never had a reason to learn those other softwares. I haven't heard anything bad about them. So if you want to be, I recommend being really good at something before. I'm kind of hypocritical in other areas of my life about that, but I think when it comes to this industry and having your own bookkeeping business, I recommend getting really good at one of them before trying to. I wouldn't say try to learn QuickBooks, Xero, and Wave all at once. Learn one of them well, and then you can always add on other ones. And I think maybe certain areas, some of the other ones are more popular, but my experience, and I was just talking to a guy from the UK last night. QuickBooks is is most popular over there too. So, from my experience, QuickBooks is the one that I would recommend learning first, and then you can branch out later. So, does my course offer training in the QuickBooks Desktop? We have specialized courses in desktop, but the course that comes with the programs is online. Let me give you a link. Let's see. Because you can buy, we have courses, QuickBooks courses a la carte. And some of them are on sale right now. So let me give you this. I threw pretty much everything on sale for the quarantine thing so that hopefully people can. So check out that link for the different courses. Those are the a la carte courses, QuickBooks courses. Some are desktop, some are online. And those aren't my packages though. So my actual programs that include QuickBooks training they include the online version. I'll post that again. All right. So Donna, yeah, check out this YouTube channel. When we're done with this, just look around in the Bookkeeping Life YouTube channel. I've got tons of videos. If you have the money, I'd say it's my programs, but if you're short on cash, I would just continue watching videos, and it'll take you a little longer to get all the information you need than, say, going through a program where it's like step by step, but you can still get there. I always say it's a person's drive to do anything. It comes down to your drive. You can make things happen one way or the other. All right. Any other questions before we move on with our days? I threw this one together last minute. I've been meaning to do it a couple days, and I was like, literally 30 minutes before it went live, I didn't do it. So thanks for bearing with me, and I didn't prepare much for this, but all right. Any other questions? Thanks, Ryan. You too. Yeah, rental property. Kevin, yes, that's common out here in California. It's companies with, and just individuals with rental properties. They're everywhere. Yeah, yeah, those are good. I've had clients with many rental properties and some with just one. So, all right, guys. I hope you have a great day. And any other questions, you can throw them down in the comment section. Please like this if you liked it. And you can always email me, steve@bookkeepinglife.com. I see everything. All right. Take care, guys. Have a great day. Cool. See ya.